Couldn't be more excited than having one of my favorite founder on the show, XBorg. Louis, how's it going?
Hey, Cyrus. Thanks so much for having me. Pleasure to come back here. It's been a long while.
It's been a while where we have had many ups, we had few downs, and we're in this weird moment. We are just talking before. Are we in a bear cycle? If we're in a bull cycle, what's your feeling about this?
Yeah, it's definitely a weird market. Where I think what's weird is not crypto going down. It's like equities going up and crypto not catching up and trending down. So we see just spikes of liquidity, but just instant reverse. So like quick burst of good price action and then immediate drawdown. So basically I view microcycles now. It's basically October, November, December last year were good. And then large drawdown from January to April. And then May to July, August onwards was good. And then, it's this. So we have those mini bull runs and mini bear runs. But overall, I think the trajectory, as long as liquidity is up, it should be up for BTC, and that we'll keep having those microcycles where things outperform and then you take large drawdowns on altcoins.
Great. I definitely get you there. How long have you been the founder of XBorg? It's been what, almost 4 years? Is that correct?
It's been, almost 4 years now.
Time flies. I was just saying before, the great thing with Louis that he looks even younger than 4 years ago. Where I feel like I look at some of my my footage, like
you don't see the white hairs now. It's getting pretty
no,
bad.
this is AI. Talking about AI and the segue of here is, the Web3 has been one of the most exciting topics. We've had different narratives. This was DeFi. We have had Metaverse, but in 2022, we had some gaming with Axie Infinity. Do you believe that the narrative today of gaming is still the big winning one within the Web3 industry?
Yeah, I think it's been struggling a ton, mostly because it was whatever was hot in 2021 with Sandbox, YGG. So a ton of investment went into gaming, and I like to say that and it's a well-known saying, but in easy times you create weak people, and then weak people hard times, and then hard times strong people. And so we basically founded founders that were not good in gaming in 2021, and that led to people not executing well, and then this is this ripple effect where, well, all tokens go down. XPG was actually the most performing gaming token in 2024, but like the rest really did a big fumble. But my thesis on Web3 gaming is as bullish as it's ever been, because I think all games moving forward will be AI generated. And so the moats of a game won't be the game itself, but will be the distribution. And how do you solve for a cold start issue with a game, and how you're going to compete with two similar games is going to be I think how much value you give to your users. And guess what? I think tokens will play a big role in how value is distributed to the players. And I
That's
think
very, very.
in the next
Yeah,
five
go for it.
years, it's
Sorry.
going to be big, very big.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that's definitely a beautiful way. The layer of blockchain is always to create that fair way to distribute value. I think so. That is definitely the fundamental quest. Just for that, by the way, Export recently announced that its evolution from gaming focus to AI infrastructure for personalized experience. Can you talk about a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's been we in gaming. So we started with esports teams, and so we're basically a building tech with esports teams. And today we're announcing actually three new teams joining us on our AMA, still private, but that will make
Ooh.
XBorg the biggest tech provider in the whole esports industry in Web2, and that's a big achievement. But along the way, we've had many other industry participants come and reach out to us to use our tech, and that includes Fortune 500 companies to football clubs and many other industries. And we turn out that what people were interested in is mostly data. Interested in
Okay.
the data of
Very
the fans.
interesting.
They were interested in the data of the fans in order to deliver personalized experiences. And we believe that the way you look at the web today is going to drastically change. And it's going to change as to who you are as a customer and who you are as a fan of a given brand. And so what we allow is not just doing fan apps, but also retrieving the whole data set about your users and accordingly give personal experiences to your users and to your fans. So concretely, how it looks like is you, Cyrus, as a user, and me, Louis, we have different tastes. We like certain things, and I like things that you don't like, etc. And so I think that the user interface that you're going to have access to on the web on a given website is going to be different than the one I'm going to be accessing. And so we'll go from a web that's the same for everyone to a web that's personalized, whether you access this through a URL or through an LLM. So that's the sort of new layer that we're adding to our tech stack, is not only the fan app, but the ability to create those personalized experiences. And that's typically powered by AI.
That's very cool. I remember in the white paper of SwissBorg early 2017, Anthony was writing most of it, but I was bringing always these different theories. And I said that the 21st century or 2020 and going on would be all about customization, optimization, decentralization, and eventually optimization. And I call that the CADO framework.
Yeah, that was on point. That was for 2017. That was
yeah.
that was a
We
good
had
point.
the right way of doing. I don't know if we did all of that, but at least we tried to. This new I would say a refocus on building this AI infrastructure, was that coming with the fact because you're working with Cloud9, Team Liquidity, Evil Genius, and all of these major esports organizations? Was that really from the conversations working with them that you went through this new way of focusing?
Well, it's basically as you dig deeper in the industry, you understand what your customers really want. And it was not only just getting the fan app, but also just building experiences, according to who you are as a fan or user. So we really understood that they wanted to get personalized experiences, and that they would tailor a journey for each user. And we basically have the whole tech stack for this. And AI is a fancy way of saying we are adding a new vertical or a new offering to our products, which is basically an agent that looks at the data that you have of your fans and that suggests content to display to you on your websites or wherever you display your information.
Very cool. And now if we talk about market size, an opportunity there, does this mean that you could maybe offer this to not only just to the e-gaming industry, or it could maybe offer this to other different industries, or will still focus on esports?
When we've said, okay, we're adding this AI layer to our business, it was really saying it's not just gaming, but it's also other industries. And with this, we're unlocking much bigger markets, probably just 100x the size of what we address today with esports. Don't want to brag about our progress on esports, but we basically chat to all of the teams. And
no, for sure, you guys literally everyone knows you, and you've been working with the best as well.
Yeah. So and then the ripple effect of this was a lot of other entities were reaching out to us. Some of the biggest football clubs, and so it's not only this new offering on our product, but it's also just we're targeting much bigger audiences.
Yeah.
And Yeah, it's hard to tell, but like we're looking at 100x in terms of market potential at least.
Mm-hmm. And to play the devil advocate, AI has been like quite a buzzword for now, let's say 2 3 years. How do you believe that XBorg, you guys are going to tackle this in a slightly better way and be able to build momentum and make it happen?
Well, first is because the edge that we have is like we basically have the like when you're the fan app provider, you have the whole data set, and then if we scale by niche, like you have the esports, we basically have access to the most powerful data set as far as fans are concerned in esports, and
Mm-hmm.
that makes us very unique. Like we have this distribution, and that no one really has in the esports industry. And then second
Yeah.
is actually something that's coming from our customers. Like customers requested this, and then we build a product, and then just they just liked it. And I think that AI just might be when we look at the capex investment, might just be a big bubble, but we're just addressing a business need, and I think this. Well, we can't go so wrong when we basically feel a gap in the market.
Yeah, I understand where you're going. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There's one thing I just heard, Louis, and this is on the spot, and it is very exciting. It's all about this new Fanbase Co-Pilots.
Yep.
Talk us about what it is, how it's going to be
So,
awesome, how people are going to use it.
so we built. I mean, the core of what we do still is building fan apps for the world's biggest brands out there, and it's a big process. It's a long process, I would say. Um, Sometimes takes a year to go to market, and so we thought deeply about okay, how can we address the need of a brand to do better engagements in a way that's super easy and fast. And so basically, what we build is this copilot, or the main use case I like to use is you're a Twitch streamer. So we're not talking about just brands, but also just I mean, a content creator is in theory a brand. But yet, let's say
Mm-hmm.
you're live on Twitch, and your business is entertaining your fans, and basically people that follow you. Just create great content, but you don't have time to engage with your fans. So, like, whilst you stream, you probably don't have time to post on Instagram stories or to post on Discord or to do polls on Twitch. And we basically do all of that on autopilot. So we parse through everything that you say, everything that you see, and everything you do on a Twitch stream, and then we do engagement based on that. And that's just one use case, but we basically get rid of community managers and content. I mean, everyone that like does engagement around you, we basically get rid of that and create that on a in an automated way. Um,
Okay.
so that's
So
applicable.
based
Yeah.
on what your activity is doing, this could it's like an AI tool that enables to create posts and
Yep.
create contents on your behalf for your fan base that wants to engage with you. Is that correct?
Specifically tailored to community engagement. So, for example, in the case of XBorg, it's hard, and then probably for SwissBorg as well. It's just hard to have a bird's eye view of what your community is saying on Discord, on X,
Yeah.
uh, on YouTube, and we basically plug all of these channels, so we have access to all of that data, and then we can tell, hell, your community feels frustrated about one point. Why don't you address this on a post, or why don't you do this Discord post? So it's
Let's definitely use it for SwissBorg. That's a great one. So it's the other way around. It's more on the community side, how to
yep.
create like this filter out of, because as we know, there's a lot of noise that could come to community, which some noise are beautiful, some noise are very negative and useless. But how do you create a better music to the ears of the content creators that like that they could really engage and make sure that they're answering what the
I mean,
fans want the best.
we listen to market trends. We listen to so it's like filling up your content calendar based on real time information. So let's say you're an esports team. well, we get all of the esports stats from your team, and we tell, hey, your team is losing at the moment. Why don't you post about this, or like your team is winning, you post about this, or potentially you can get also a prediction market live on, okay, will my team come back from this loss, or will my make ton of use cases. So it's basically just what you wish your community manager would be like, having processing all of that data in real time, and then saying, hey, you should post about this. And we optimize the heck out of this, like knowing when to post, um, knowing what the market, like how the market feels about this. So it's a pretty exciting new app that unlocks a bigger market, that includes content creators. And that goes live to 200 content creators this quarter. So pretty exciting stuff.
So, in other words, does this mean that the co-pilot of XBorg has asked that you want to go bold eventually, and that's why you're thinking about going bold? Is that it? The co-pilot figured this out, or is it yourself?
Wait, where did you get this from? I don't want to go bold. I just moved in with my girlfriend, so please,
Okay.
let's avoid
There
this.
was these I don't know, there was these posts that probably you did or someone did on X recently, that it was just pictures of you bold. I thought it was fucking hilarious. That wasn't you who posted that? No?
Was not me. I mean, I'd be willing to do it for the tokens of God, probably.
No. If you just moved in with your girlfriend right now, that's not the best thing to
Yeah,
do.
no, not good.
Keep some hair. But a lot of CEOs that are bold are very good CEOs, as we know. The co-pilot, are you gonna work? You are gonna have one as well, live for XBorg as well, and for Web3 projects, or is it really more for
So,
gaming studios?
I mean, we internally, I'm telling the team, hey, Web3 is an easy market. Let's go Web2 and let's do the hard things. Like
Yeah.
they were saying, hey, content creators is a tough market, and I'm like, yeah, let's just do it. Like let's go face that market, because if we're good at this, then Web3, we know that the go to market is super easy. Reaching out to teams is quick. It's also an industry that
Yeah.
has money, so you can monetize. But so first is content creators. We'll have a hard time. We already are getting hard times. Like we have a bunch of advisors, and when they look at the product, they're hammering it, because
Yeah.
it's and just, that's exactly the same with the esports teams, but they're very critical. And then once we feel comfortable with content creators, but that's a big market in itself, then we'll roll this out to existing customers that we have in
Okay.
esports
Good.
and other industries. And then eventually Web3, but it's going to be a self-service product. So like anyone that will want to use it, but it just won't be our focus, BD wise, to focus on Web3 initially.
Okay. Cool. Um, as we know, as founders of different companies that have Web 2, Web 3 presence, and on the same time a token, this is very challenging because
Yeah.
you have literally two missions, which is to create beautiful products, revenue through those products and services, but at the same time, have a way to reflect some of that growth into your token. As we know in crypto, the fundamentals between a token price increase and the company's profitability or a way of building great products and services are not always correlated. We have seen as well last year the ascension of XBorg going from 3-4 cents to all the way to 40 cents, which was insane. Best performing token. What's your say right now? I know there's really cool stuff that are being done in the background already live. Yeah, tell us a bit more about XBG.
Yeah, it's been I think just a great 2024 along with the market. But the truth is just, yeah, you're at the mercy of the market. and just the appetite of investors. And yeah, we felt, specifically in Q4, that the business quality was not being reflected on the token growth. And that's why we said, okay, we're going to commit to 100% of our revenues to a token.
So you were talking before, obviously the XBG has been really the masterpiece of XBorg, this way how you guys have, crowdfunded the company and all that, and you always want to give back. And something that is very new now, which is extremely exciting, is how you guys are essentially doing a very big amount of buybacks. Explain us a bit why you're doing this and how you're doing it.
Yeah, so it's we've got all these exciting news on the token and on the business, sorry, and we discussed earlier that the altcoin market has just been up and down pretty aggressively, and I think that over time the business quality and the token price should converge, and just the best way of expressing this is through buybacks, and that also shows the commitment that we have towards token holders as the owners of the business, is to say, okay, you guys trust us to create a great business, and we'll buy back the supply accordingly. And yeah, that's something we wish to continue. And again, I think that this is going to, it's basically just the best way to capture value out of our ecosystem. Some will say buybacks are inefficient and we should also reinvest in the business. But I think timing wise, Web3, it has such a crucial moment where you basically want to, when equities are doing well specifically, you want to tell your holders that, hey, we're also worth looking into, because at some point your PE ratio will make sense even to the traditional TradFi investor.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Look, if there's no buyback, the project is just making revenues for not giving some of that juice back to your fortunate community, right? And it's just a fantastic way of building wealth, I think, so on the long run. Talking about revenues, I heard that revenues has been doing extremely well for you guys. There's a 150% increase from this. Can you explain us where the revenue is coming from right now with XBorg?
No, so we have today it's we have those fan apps, and they pay us just a SaaS business model where on a monthly basis. So sometimes you have a setup fee, but otherwise it's just monthly recurring revenues. Mm-hmm. So you also are able to hedge your burn rate through that this money that keeps coming in. And that's why we feel comfortable that, because we know okay, next quarter that much is going to come in, so we feel comfortable in Q1 being aggressive on buybacks. And that's also why looking into the future, we know, okay, we're confident that buybacks will come back, and it's going to be something that we'll do on a recurring basis. We've been very aggressive with buybacks. In basically 2.5 weeks, we've bought back 440K of tokens in USD. That's pretty cool. So it's a pretty sizable amount. And yeah, so that's the focus at the moment, is just Fanbase. The fan apps, and then Co-Pilot is going to be another line of business. And yeah, we'll share transparently on how this is going.
On this fantastic portal, you see all the buybacks here. We saw the gaming race. We saw there's bridge, but there's as well a way to earn XBG. There's different seasons that happen all the time, and you're able to essentially pledge your tokens, and they get a yield as well. I believe we're around the 13th, the 12th or the 13th, I think, season already. And there's governance to this as well. You guys vote on different things time to time, if I'm not mistaken.
So it's a way in which, so the way it works is you have multipliers, and multipliers is essentially a proxy to how active you are in the ecosystem. So the more value you give us, the more value you'll get. And yeah, so like the buybacks that we do, that goes into the reward pool, and the yield from the app here is coming from the reward pool. It's basically a real yield that you're getting, at a cost, basically at no inflation, because it's not new coins that we're putting into the market.
Sweet. Again, another very thoughtful way for making token economics very solid, which I know it's a great thing. I think everyone understands that if you buy back and you print much more, then eventually that gets a little bit inflationist anyways. So that doesn't really work. Maybe the last point we could talk about, the narrative regarding AI agents and AI infrastructure, and how you see this going with XBorg yourself.
Yeah, we've suffered as a token from lack of marginal buyers. Like, realistically, okay, we did great as a gaming coin, and that was like a 10x in 2024. But realistically, like, a 10x is not why we're here in crypto. Like, we want to go much bigger than this. And being just a gaming narrative token was like, we took quite a hit, because whenever I send that to a friend that's like, it's like, well, gaming is not hot. I don't want to invest in things that are not doing well. And so by building this new line of business in AI, that also allows us to tap into a much bigger market, because the hot money is chasing AI in equities today, with a ton of capex investment that we see. And I think this will return to crypto at some point, and that AI, sort of AI-led tokens will do well. And depending on how the Copilot goes, I'm confident that we can be one of the leading player in the AI space. Not necessarily this quarter or even the next, but I think for next year, goal would be to be recognized as a major AI player in the Web3 space.
Love it. Couldn't agree more. Maybe to finish with this, XBorg was obviously a gaming a narrative. Now it's transforming to the AI narrative. How do you see your vision in the next 2 years? What's going to be the big thing that will make XBG great, and XBorg too?
Yeah, it's but what I tell the team is, we focus less on decentralization and a lot on revenue generating projects, and just keep innovating, keep trying to launch new products, see what works, what doesn't, and face the hard things. Like, whether we're on a bear market or not, I don't really know. But what I can tell is the business is unfazed by the market cycles, because we look at Web2, and so vision for 2027 is just keep doing what we're doing, as in focusing on Web2 distribution and focusing on revenue, because this is what most businesses in crypto will look like in the next 2 years.
100%. A lot of people look for the big swings and think that within a year everything is going to go perfectly, but to be honest, is how you build relentlessly, and you put a lot of effort into what you do, that compounds, and sometimes these incredible moments happen and you see those massive wins, but it is a lot of small work, detail, focus on understanding what's the future and how being taking a big part. Louis, thank you so much for your time. This was a great one. I hope that everyone loves this episode with Louis. Of course, in the comments, please ask any question that you have. We'll be able to answer them, and maybe more things to be done next year as well with XBorg. So looking forward to it. Thank you, Louis.
Cool. No, thanks, Cyrus, for having me. That was good.
Take care.